Hi.
I'm Tevya.
I'm Janai.
Nice to meet you. I've never heard of this religion before. Can you tell me a little bit about the history?
Well, we were founded about 3,500 years ago in ancient Persia, which is now Iran. Our god is the god of wisdom, Ahura Mazda, and our prophet's name is Zarathustra. Apparently, Ahura Mazda came down on him and said, well, I'm Ahura Mazda, and I'm going to enlighten you with this knowledge about this world, and I'm going to guide you to live your life through good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. And that's Zoroastrianism.
You may have never heard of Zoroastrians, yet they were the dominant religion on Earth from 600 years before Jesus Christ to 600 years after his death. Since that time, many of its believers have been persecuted, its holiest scriptures burnt, and many of its worshippers often forced into exile. Today, there are fewer than 190,000 Zoroastrians worldwide. Yet, despite their relatively small numbers, their celebrations are still going strong. Now, what are we doing today?
We're going to a Jashan.
Jeshan.
A Jashan, yeah.
Okay, what is that?
This is a ceremony to thank Ahura Mazda for the new year. I have to wear a scarf, and you have to wear this topi to show respect to the god and the priests and the ceremony. Let's go.
I'm following you.
Woo.
Okay. Now, am I supposed to hop like that?
I just can't walk in a sari.
Oh, okay.
I'll learn. But we can't talk.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
At all.
Got it.
At all.
Got it. This is going to be impossible. As Janai and I took our seats, it felt odd to be in such a modern and suburban banquet hall practicing one of the world's oldest religions. You know, religious ceremonies are interactive. You either say amen, or you agree, or you reference God. But this time, we just kind of sit there and watch these guys. Visually, it kind of blew my mind, because if you just see it for the first time, it looks like 8 surgeons in an emergency room. It's pretty trippy. It turns out that these white-faced coverings represent purity. The idea is to block the possibility of unpure saliva from landing here on this fire, the most sacred element of Zoroastrianism. The sandalwood being burned represents the good attributes in life, and the fire it ignites is a symbol of warmth, energy, and divine purity, carrying its energy as a messenger up to the only Zoroastrian god, Ahura Mazda. Another thing that's pretty wild is these guys are praying in a Middle Eastern language that's been defunct for thousands and thousands of years. In fact, these are the actual hymns and prayers that come from the Avesta, Zoroastrians' most ancient and holy scriptures. While fire is the most revered of the 7 elements of Zoroastrianism, other elements are also central to the religion. The sky, water, earth, plants, animals, and humans. But today, on the new year, fire is the key. As the formal prayers end, it was now time for the rest of the congregation to send their wishes and messages up through this fire to their god. Now, I saw a bunch of people come over and hand sticks to the priests. Who are those people? How come they were allowed to do that?
Anyone is. I could have. If I had some of my sandalwood, I could go and give it to the priest, and he would go and burn it in here.
What happens now?
Well, now I'm gonna go change, and then there's gonna be a dinner and a dance.
The appetizers have been served in the next room.
Now, apparently, Janae is about to get changed. Now, I'm sorry. I've only seen her in her sari. Wow. Okay, so now what?
Now we can get some appetizers, and then the dinner will start.
Cheers to Zoroastrianism. Cheers. What are your friends' comments regarding this religion?
Well, what does it stand for? What do you believe in? And some of the things I tell them are that it's the first monotheistic religion in the world. So the first religion to believe in one God.
Now, when you say it's the first monotheistic religion,
Yeah.
even older than Judaism?
The Old Testament takes actually a lot of stuff from Zoroastrian scriptures. I think actually their whole concept of like heaven and hell and sort of the one God and devil.
And actually the three wise men were actually Zoroastrians.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are we counting down to midnight?
No.
So it's a different type of
It's
New Year's.
already the New Year.
Oh, I see.
It's the first day of the New Year. Woo! Sal Mubarak means Happy New Year.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
Salavar.
Sal Mubarak.
Sal Mubarak.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As the traditional dances began, I was soon to find out there are no wallflowers allowed at this New Year's Eve event. I discovered that the young people here are not just important to the future of Zoroastrianism, they are central to preaching it. Hello?
Hey, my name's Rashad.
Hey, Rashad, I'm Tevya.
Hey. I'm a priest with the Zoroastrian community.
Wow, you don't look like a priest.
No, it's because I'm pretty young.
How old are you?
I'm 16 right now. The way it works in Zoroastrianism is a boy should become a priest before he reaches puberty. So it's around the age of 11 or 12.
Believe it or not, young priests like Rashad can officiate everything from wedding ceremonies and funeral processions to Zoroastrian coming-of-age ceremonies. How can an 11-year-old have enough wisdom to counsel a whole community?
I think it's more about building that wisdom, just building with the community.
Believe it or not, this old English-looking house is home to one of the most sacred and ancient Zoroastrian symbols on the planet. A fire that represents an everlasting flame that's been burning in Persia for over 2,500 years. How could I find out the secrets of this fire and its importance to Zoroastrians? Janai told me she knew just the man to meet.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I see you're both wearing a symbol around your neck. What is that?
It's commonly called the Fravashi or the Fravahar. Think of it as your guardian symbol. In Zoroastrianism, we believe that there is a part of God within all of us. And that essence of God, it's there to guide you. It's there to help you make those righteous choices. And that is what this represents.
Not surprisingly, pictures of Zarathustra, the prophet of Zoroastrianism, can also be found throughout this house.
Do we know what the prophet actually looked like? No, we have no clue as to what the prophet actually looked like. If you notice the right finger raised, right, is to say that there is one God.
And it turns out the connection between Zarathustra and fire is all important.
Fire is a key symbol in Zoroastrianism. And when the prophet was looking for a symbol that represented his inspiration of the divine, his vision of the divine, he chose fire. Fire in its spiritual form represents the endless light of Ahura Mazda.
And that is why fire is used in almost all Zoroastrian ceremonies.
So let's go into the prayer room. There's two things that we need to do. We need to cover our heads and take off our shoes.
Now, my mother always told me to wear clean socks. And into the sacred fire room we go. Holy moly, it smells like fire in here.
Well, that's a good observation. Let me show you.
Can I go check it out?
No, you can't step in there, Tevye, but we can talk about it from out here.
Wow, this is incredible. Now, is this burning 24 hours a day?
Well, not here, but in a consecrated fire temple back in India or in Iran, it would burn 24 hours a day. In fact, it's an ever-burning fire. But if you look at the back there, there is a flame.
Yeah.
That is an ever-burning flame. It's on 24/7, 365 days a year. And it represents symbolically the light of God. To the members of the Zoroastrian community, and this place is sacred. In India, for example, in a fire temple, they wouldn't let you in. You would have to be a Zoroastrian to go into that fire temple. In North America, it's somewhat different. This is not a consecrated fire temple. It takes 16,000 hours of prayer to consecrate an Atash Beram fire. You would come before the fire, and in an attitude of reverence, you would kneel before it.
Okay. Now, what's an attitude of reverence?
In other words, you are becoming aware of the fact that you are in the presence of something sacred, that your actions represent devotion. Through your very means and gestures, you are acknowledging God in His spirituality. You would put your hands forward and you would bow your head.
Okay. Does my head touch the floor?
If you choose to.
Okay.
Yata Uhu Radio.
Yahatu
Yata.
Yata Ratush.
Yataratush.
Wangeush.
This prayer is for Ahura Mazda's help, so we, as humans, can use our good mind, truth, and strength to create good actions and help those in need.
Dalat Vastarem.
Vastarim.
So once you've done that, you could reach across.
Okay.
Put your finger in there.
Okay.
And put that on your forehead. Go ahead. Perfect.
This dot of ash from the remnants of the fire is placed on our foreheads to symbolize enlightenment. Human life in connection with the God of wisdom.